want to welcome everybody to another exciting session of Coffee with Cleo. We have a great guest. I want to introduce you to Dr. Tom Eickhoff. Dr. Tom Eickhoff is the Senior Director of Science Implementation at Climate Corporation. This company is a subsidiary of Monsanto Bayer. Tom and his team they're very much responsible for providing the global strategy and direction and oversight of implementation, really for testing climate science within the global field operations of agriculture. I also like to share with you that Tom's team also focuses in on creating research plans and building scalable systems that deliver the latest data science techniques to products that can be used by farmers to increase productivity and efficiency. He's very interesting. Not only is he a scientist, but Tom really has been in the field. He was born on a farm in northeastern Nebraska, where that farm is still operated by his family, a couple of his brothers. He's also spent about 13, 14 years in the industry working for Monsanto and Bayer. He also has a bachelor's degree from the University of Nebraska, and that's a bachelor's degree in agronomy. His master's and PhD is in entomology from the University of Nebraska, and he's very well credentialed. And today I want to welcome everybody to hear our discussion about the ag sector, the industry, and a lot of technology that's happening. So Tom, how are you doing today?
I'm great, Cleo. Thank you so much for having me. Really excited for the conversation.
Well, we're very excited as well. And Tom, I want to start out with COVID-19. I think every industry has been impacted by COVID-19. Not only have they been impacted, but most industries in some respects have had to react, adapt, and reimagine and recalibrate their organization to deal with this fluid dynamic nature of COVID. Tom, what are some of the things that you see in the ag industry and specifically related to what you're doing? What has been the biggest impact on the industry as well as your organization? What are some of the things that you've learned that you're implementing and that you're excited about?
Yeah, no different than so many of the industries, Cleo. Agriculture's been impacted and in a really significant way. You know, our customers are facing unprecedented times on pressure on the markets. You know, our farmers rely heavily on the ethanol markets and others to be able to be profitable every year. And certainly the lowering of demand for fuels is a significant downward pressure on their business. Secondly, you know, I think agriculture, like so many industries, is really rooted in trust and that one-on-one interaction that you get to have with the customer. And, you know, we rely heavily on our field seasons to be able to go out and connect with our customers, have one-on-one conversations, share new technologies, new agronomic practices, and you can't have that. So, you know, we've quickly had to adjust on how do we make this information accessible? How do we share the new insights with our customers in a more digital way? And that has not only impacted the way we interact with our customers, but you imagine a whole organization that now has to embrace a more digital mindset of how do they share information? How do you make decisions? So it's challenged on a number of fronts, but it's been also really exciting to see the creativity of employees come out and really step into figuring out new and innovative ways to keep that relationship and share new information and insights with farmers around the world.
You know, Tom, I think it's important, specifically with any business, in providing your customers the ability to make real-time decisions, take information and data, and help them make better informed decisions, especially in this environment of COVID-19, which we're going to have to make decisions faster. We're also going to have to rely on the data and analytics to be able to bring precision to our decisions, which I want to talk to you about technology. What are some of the changes that you've seen in the industry since you've been involved in it, not just growing up on a farm, but your 14 years within the industry? And what are some of the things that get you excited about farmers for the future? And I know that both our families are farm, and they would be very excited and probably scratching their head on some of the new technologies that are out there. So tell me about some of those things.
Yeah, Cleo, it's been so exciting. And, you know, I know it's been a long career. It's been 13 and a half years already, but in many ways, it feels like so much has changed. It's just gone so fast. And, you know, when I joined the company in 2007, we were really at the peak of launching a lot of new biotechnology products that really changed the way farmers thought about agriculture and unlock new capabilities they hadn't had before. From that time till now, I've seen just data science and digital infiltrate so many different parts of the business, from how we interact with customers to how our breeding organization, our plant breeding organization makes decisions, starts to understand and leverage germplasm from around the world. So how do you take the best from corn hybrids that are grown in South America, Europe, and incorporate that in with North America, and then redeploy that germplasm globally? Data science is at the core of being able to connect people globally, make decisions faster, help expose and share information that our organization has never had before. And if you think about that evolution from research and development all the way through where we are now with products like Climate or Climate Field View, of now how do we start to interact with our customers, provide recommendations, make so much of the data that our farmers are generating today available to them to make decisions. And that's all happened in really a 14-year span. I mean, it's incredible to watch, and it has done nothing but get better and faster almost every year.
As a global leader, someone that basically operates a team, and your team not only is responsible for field operations and the market research, not just in Canada, US, Latin America, you're also responsible for Europe as well and other countries. I'd like to ask you, when you travel and being in the field, which is important, on the ground where things are happening, to gain those insights and to be able to observe those insights, what are some of the things that you see, that you've experienced, that are very similar no matter what country that you've been to? And what are some of the things that you really must do and be mindful of avoiding when you're visiting other countries with different practices and, of course, different requirements?
Yeah, it's another cool thing about agriculture, and maybe not so different than other industries, Cleo, but farmers around the world, I've never met a farmer around the world that doesn't look back at the decisions they made for their particular situation, their cropping season, and not ask, what can I do better? What decision could I make with more information? How could have I improved my profitability, my productivity, my sustainability? And I think that's a common thread across farmers globally. And that's really exciting to see, because it helps unite that we're really trying in many cases to solve the same problems, which allows you to leverage the diverse experiences and expertise globally to really, collate around a common core set of challenges facing all of us. Now, on the flip side of that, you always have to be careful that you're really listening to the issue and helping get to what's the root cause of the issue. For many farmers around the world, it may not be a technology problem. It may be a market access problem. It may be a connectivity problem. It may be access to new information or new techniques that they're just not able to get in their specific situation. So while the problems and solutions can be very similar, the way you need to enable that or help a farmer through that process can be very different. And I believe it really takes time to listen and understand beyond just the problem, what are the capabilities that individual is able to implement on their own operation that's really going to make the difference.